Not everyone's a fan of the former US Vice President turned climate campaigner.
So when I get emails from PhDs in economics that try to debunk the aspects that we talk about, it becomes quite clear to me that the reason they have such an objection is really an emotional one. It isn't an objective aspect. They have culminated an identity to themselves because of their belief system, and for me to take that away from them, to debunk their ideas about economics, is to take away their identity.
Wrong. Wrong. Is the family a good thing, or is it gonna go bye-bye too?
Family is a natural institution. Family is where people will return to in this type of situation.
As of right now, with the future of energy, established energy, the future of the way we are orienting ourselves on this planet through depletion, I'm not having any children. While I try to be as optimistic as possible with the Zeitgeist movement and what we could do, which is phenomenal what we could do, as of right now we have some powerful barriers. I'm not having children. Why? Why would I say that? First of all, I wouldn't feel good. I would feel utterly negligent and irresponsible at this point in time to bring in another human being. Most people, when they give birth to children, it's a traditionalized, self-serving, established notion where we're going to have kids and have a family. To hell with the carrying capacity of the earth. To hell with the fact that we might be impoverished. I mean, you see this in trailer parks all the time. People don't have any relationship to anything. They have no education as far as what makes society work, as far as what the processes are that feed them. So they continue to have kids over and over and over again, or continue to do many, many things that have no relationship to anything. But let's focus on the children aspect. For me to bring in a child is for me to actually say, I believe the world will be in good shape for the duration of my child's life. And then it becomes, well, what if my child has a grandchild? Should the world have the integrity to maintain stability for that child as well? This is the question. This is what all parents out there should be asking themselves. They shouldn't be having children for their own self-serving needs so they can have a family and be traditional and show up at church and have their 2 kids. It has to relate to something real. Until it does so, we're fucking doomed. We have created an economic structure, a religious, philosophical structure that is absolutely decoupled from anything tangible and real, and these ideologies are what will destroy the human species and destroy the planet.
Does that mean they need to be eradicated? Of course not. They need to be educated. If you took somebody right now and froze them in ice, and you had them re-thought out and rejuvenated 1,000 years from now in say, a resource-based economy, they would be completely obsolete. Completely obsolete. Completely obsolete. Completely obsolete. They would not know what to do. Their value systems would be, their conditioning would be absolutely obtuse. They would, most likely, they wouldn't work. In other words, they'd probably kill themselves or they'd do something extremely defensive, and then something would have to happen. This is a value system issue.
What would have to happen?
Something would have to happen where the person would be reconditioned in some way. That's the point.
Re-educated?
The point is the value systems are too different.
I've heard all this before. That's the problem, Peter Joseph. Peter, I've heard all this before.
What do you mean you've heard it all before?
I mean, I've heard all this stuff you're saying before, and let me tell you, it isn't pretty. I mean, re-educated, reconditioned. Oh boy, look out.
There's ZeitgeistMovie.com. That's the central site for Zeitgeist Project. There's the ZeitgeistMovement.com, which we have about 30,000 people joining in about 4 days, which has been very progressive.
And you're going to have the Z movement, too, Z-Day.
Absolutely. And then there's the Venus Project.
The Z-Force is here. Ah! We are here to save you. We are here. We are here to free you. We are here to re-educate you. Please don't come get me on Z-Day. Please, no, not that. Not re-education. Not that. No.
Here's a technical question. It's by 2050, it's claimed that there will be over 10 billion people on the planet. Do you think by our current methods today that we will be able to deal with that type of population?
Well, we have the methods, but we don't apply them.
No, I mean today, what we're doing right now in the monetary system. Do you think that this population growth will be extremely detrimental?
Yes, I do.
I think so too.
I think that in the future, with a better and more relevant education, people will study what the carrying capacity of the earth is and environment, and maintain a population in accordance with the carrying capacity of the earth, not someone's opinion. If the Vatican said, go forth and multiply, and the Lord will provide, all I would say to the Vatican, if he doesn't provide, will you?
In uns marschiert Deutschland und hinter uns kommt Deutschland.
The popular British playwright Bernard Shaw supported Hitler in the mass media. The left supported Hitler not because he deceived them. They knew Hitler would kill. He said he would. In fact, it was why they supported him.
You must all know half a dozen people at least who are no use in this world, who are more trouble than they are worth. Just put him there and say, sir or madam, now will you be kind enough to justify your existence? If you can't justify your existence, if you're not pulling your weight in the social vote, if you're not producing as much as you consume, or perhaps a little more, then clearly we cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us and it can't be of very much use to yourself.
Bernard Shaw believed in mass killing by category, not usually by racial category, but by category, you know, the idle, the unfit.
Killing off the parasites within society was what Marxian socialism was about.
It demanded in a London newspaper that the scientists should devise a humane gas.
I appeal to the chemists to discover a humane gas that will kill instantly and painlessly. Deadly by all means, but humane, not cruel. After 10 years, such gas will be discovered. It will be called Zyklon B. The man who oversaw its practical application, Adolf Eichmann, will later testify that thanks to Zyklon B, people in Auschwitz died without pain. Zyklon B was a humane gas. Yes, Eichmann will use the very same words.
Was ist geschehen? Sag mir, wo die Blumen sind. Mädchen plötzlich.
Both left thousands of mass graves, millions of murdered people. Was it coincidence? Years later, the Nazis will exterminate millions of Jews.
It appeared in January 1849 in Marx's journal, Neue Rheinische Zeitung. Engels wrote of how the class war in Marxian terms means that when socialist revolution happens, the class war happens, there will be primitive societies in Europe 2 stages behind, because they're not even capitalist yet. And he had in mind the Basques and the Bretons and the Scottish Highlanders and the Serbs, and he calls them racial trash, Völkerabfälle, racial trash, and they will have to be destroyed, because being 2 stages behind in the historical struggle, it will be impossible to bring them up to the point of being revolutionary.
He spoke about the vulgarity and dirtiness of Slavic people, you see. And he thinks, for instance, that Poland had Poland has no reason to exist.